peace and enlightenment. So I got up today and I came across some videos, and a lot of different people were speaking on a video that Von Two Cut uploaded, and he was talking about a lot of different things. So I haven't really watched a lot of his video yet. I just came across some people reacting to it. So I decided, I want to do something different. And I'm actually going to play this channel that I came across. And the guy was reacting to some things that Vaughn was saying. And I kind of was digging what he was saying as well when I watched certain parts of the video. So I decided that I wanted to play this entire video. Well, I may not play the entire video, but I'm going to give y'all my perspective on what Vaughn is talking about, as well as this other guy. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing started, y'all.
I just want to get it.
And stop all distractions before you listen to this video. The hamster wheel. Wake up. If you, which just we, want to keep living in the fantasy, click off the video. The fantasy. Once you break the matrix, there's no going back.
That one's
The
better.
matrix is not society. The matrix is not spiritual shit, no. The matrix is life, the body,
I don't think people get that. You gotta understand.
Let me pause it right quick, y'all. He said the matrix is life. And so far that statement he made, he's correct. It is life. It is. I made a video called I think I named it we're in something like a video game. The matrix is like a video game. It's real, but it's not real. It's real, but it's not real. Because I have to understand what I'm saying. It's just like a computer. And a computer can get hacked. So we are in this something like this video game where there are characters. There are all types of things. But they are a part of the actual game. And what I want to say is that being in this video game, a lot of different characters here belong to the actual game. I just made another video about that. When you're done watching this, if you want, you can check it out. It's called how reptilians, agents, and NPCs. Check that video out if you want to. But anyway, let me get back on topic. The Matrix is life. We are in something like a holographic reality. Things can be projected here. I hope y'all know what these words really, really mean when I say projected. We are in a simulation. So that's what he's speaking about when he's saying it's not about spirituality. It's not about this. It's not about that. It's just the fact that we are in something like a video game.
And that everything comes from the creator. You are the creator of your own reality. So the Matrix is not... The Matrix was the Matrix before it even became the Matrix, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain. The Matrix didn't, like people say you was born into the Matrix or whatever. The Matrix existed before you incarnated in the body that you incarnated in, if that makes sense. Like the Matrix is not only this third dimensional world, if that makes sense. Your body, your physical body is also a part of the Matrix.
Facts. Let me pause that right quick, y'all. He's absolutely right what he's saying. I mean, he talked about how the Matrix has always existed. It's just like a video game. The game itself has always existed, but it's different levels. Like right now, we're playing the third dimensional Matrix game. Y'all get what I'm saying? So you got to think about it. This is why I always talk about, I don't even like to say the chosen ones, but for us chosen ones, we decided before we came here that we want to experience this particular game. For whatever reason that is, only you know that. And that's in your Akashic records. That's in your subconscious mind. You have to understand that you are a character as well. But a lot of different characters here just are NPCs. But for the real ones that are here, and like me, myself, I know I chose who I chose to be me. I chose my family. I chose my reality on a deep subconscious level. So he's right what he's talking about, y'all. And the other guy, like he was about to make a point how even the body itself. See, y'all got to know that you are not your body. You are the soul that is within your body. But you have always existed because a soul can't do nothing but exist. Y'all get what I'm saying? So for the reality that you have experienced your entire life, you may not understand a lot of things, understand a lot of things. You don't know why this may happen or that may happen. But that's because you're looking at it from a third dimensional level. You're looking at it from your own little small reality, your own bubble. Y'all get what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and keep playing this thing, y'all.
Because you thought of this body, if that makes sense. Your consciousness thought of this body, if that makes sense.
I just told y'all that, right? You chose to be you. For whatever reason you did in a previous life, you chose to be who you are in this lifetime.
So everything around you is part of the matrix. Not only are you can't detach, the only way to detach from the matrix is to fully detach yourself from even your own body and not even identify with your physical body, if that makes sense.
He right. And what I want to say is, y'all, the higher that you go in consciousness, you will come to this inner knowing for yourself. You're gonna know that you aren't your body. Like right now, I guarantee you, if you was to move your arm, and I always give this example, when you move your arm, the spirit, the whatever's inside of you, move that arm. That arm did not move that arm. If you move your legs, your feet, whatever you do, the thing that's inside. See, we have been tricked to believe that we are these physical beings, which we are. But before anything is physical, it is non-physical. You are the spirit first, then the body. So this is how we had got so distracted and we have forgotten this. But now that we are waking up, you will come to the knowingness that you are not your body. Let me go ahead and keep this thing going down.
Remember, that's the matrix. When we started out as a thought, right? When they talk about the Big Bang, that was us. Now, we were just a thought floating in existence.
Let me pause that right quick, y'all. What he's trying to say is this. He said that you were a thought. What I'm going to say is that you were a conscious awareness. You were you. We must not identify ourselves as thoughts anyway. Don't identify yourself as your thoughts, because your thoughts are just something that can come into your consciousness and it can leave your consciousness. So don't get confused about what he's saying. You were a thought. No, we weren't a thought. We were a conscious awareness. You were you before you were you. And you were a higher you who came down to be this, I don't really want to say a smaller you, but in a way you did. So that's what he's talking about when he said you were a thought. But you were a conscious awareness, a being that wasn't in a physical vessel yet on this third dimensional plane. But you still existed, but just not in this physical way yet. So that's what he's talking about.
He said, we're bored of just being a thought. We want to feel things now.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided, okay, let's start the Big Bang and let's have a physical experience.
Facts.
Let's start the hamster wheel, the cycle of life. But we did that at a price. Once we started the cycle of life, we realized that we can't stop the cycle of life. I don't think that hits you. once we started the cycle of life, we realized that we can't stop the cycle of life.
Okay, y'all, this is what he's saying. I love it. This is what Vaughn is saying. He's saying, before you came here, you wanted to experience a physical reality. Hold on, y'all, let me get my TV together. You wanted to experience this physical reality, this thing called life. But by doing this, we were all also aware of the things that may occur. This is where that whole reptilian thing and that whole low vibrational thing that we have experienced. We knew about this on a deep level, but we knew this is where that whole duality thing, like it's always going to be a left side, it's always going to be a right side, it's always going to be a up, it's always going to be a down, it's always going to be good, it's always going to be bad. But we knew that when we came here, we would go through all of this so-called pain to some degree. But we also knew that we would set something like an alarm clock inside of us to wake ourselves up, to even know that we are playing something like a game, to even know that we are experiencing a Saturn matrix. So we knew all of the stuff that probably could happen. But we also knew that we would remember who we truly are. That we were honestly the creator of this whole thing. And we would learn how to maneuver and work out the kinks. So that is what we're doing now. We're working out the kinks in this matrix. We're learning how to peep game, learning that reptilians and all of these low dimensional forces exist. And they come in the form of whoever they decide to come in. Like I made a video about how reptilians, agents, and NPCs are everyone, or majority of everyone. So if you are something like a chosen one, this is something that you will figure out for yourself. And you will learn how to maneuver and do all of this stuff that you are supposed to do. But I'm going to go ahead and keep this thing going.
Imagine if you was in a room and you couldn't get out.
This should be an easy concept to understand, so I'm not even going to explain that just because I feel like it should be simple.
Room and you couldn't go to sleep and you couldn't age. What would you do? You would make your whole entire fantasy. Once again, before we continue, if you want to keep living in the fantasy, please kick off the video.
He gave y'all a warning too. He gave y'all a warning and y'all still watched. Because there's people in the comment section crying like, oh, you making my life feel so hopeless and unimportant. When in reality, you have to understand, it's all about what you want. Like, if you still got things in the physical world that you feel like you haven't done yet, then you can still do it. Just because he's saying this don't mean you have to feel the way that he's saying. That don't mean what he's saying is not true though. You just haven't reached that level, if that makes sense. So trust me, once you get to that level, you gonna understand what he was saying in this video. But it's just that the time period that you in right now, you wasn't ready to hear this. It's kind of like skipping grades when you weren't ready. You know, like if you was in 5th grade and you got jumped all the way to college, you start hearing information. You start getting college information when you skipped like high school. You know what I'm saying? You didn't even get to live that part of your life. You just skipped all the way to to college. So you basically skipped a whole part of your life. And it's like, wow, I didn't even get to experience nothing yet, and I'm already being taught, some of the things. That's basically what this video is. He kind of, for the people that wasn't ready to hear this, he made them skip grades without even giving them a chance to get to where he is, if that makes sense.
Okay, y'all, I agree with him on that. Like I said, I haven't watched the whole entire video. I ain't watched none of the video. But like I said, I'm just doing reactions to this particular video. And what the guy he's saying, he's correct. See, what Vaughn got to know is that it's levels of awareness. And for a lot of his subscribers, they are just now becoming what you would call enlightened. And Vaughn has reached the level of enlightenment where, like the guy said, Vaughn is like in college with this stuff, but he's talking to a lot of people who are still in stuff like the 3rd and the 4th and the 5th grade. So he's speaking college information to a lot of you who aren't ready to receive that type of knowledge yet. But the more that you learn and go inward, you will come to these things just as well as Vaughn has. But for you yet, you haven't gotten to that level yet. So I feel the guy what he's talking about, but I'm going to keep this thing going.
Which is why I feel like I understand what he was saying in this video, but I just feel like this should have been something that people figured out on their own.
We don't want to ruin it for y'all. For us. Just please click off the video. But we all, as a collective consciousness, as a one whole, have to come to this realization.
Hold on, let me say this, y'all. And this is what Vaughn needs to understand. Vaughn still hasn't, well, I'm not gonna say he hasn't, but what Vaughn will still learn is that for a lot of you, let me see how I want to word this. A lot of people can only reach certain levels of enlightenment. A lot of people can't get to this level yet, and that's okay. You have to be acceptable and cool with wherever state of consciousness you are at. If something doesn't resonate with you, then you don't have to buy into that. But for him and people like me and whoever else is listening to this, and it resonates with you on the internal, then it's the information for you. But if you are listening to Vaughn and you're not resonating with what he was talking about, that's why he told y'all to click off the video. So if you continue to watch the video, then, you know, whatever he said is whatever he said. But anyway, I'm going to keep this going.
Not God because we're great. We're God because we're the only things here. Let me say that again. We're not God because we're great. We're God because we're the only thing here.
Facts. And what I want to say, let me piggyback off of that. That's what he needs to understand. There are only a certain amount of people here that are actually the dreamers of this reality. The other people are NPCs, meaning that they are characters just a part of the actual game. They come in the form of your family, your friends, your strangers, and different random people. And then you have people here that are agents, and then you have reptilians. But the actual dreamers here, if you want to call us the chosen, the actual gods, we are the ones that are creating this reality. This is why I tell y'all so much to stop buying into other people's reality. Because since you are God, anything that you buy into, you create it. You create it. Gods and goddesses. You create the reality by default because you can't do nothing but create. This is why they put out fake news so much. This is why they put out all of this negativity so much. This is why they do all of these low vibrational distractions, because they know that you are God itself. And when you listen to this stuff, when you believe this stuff, by default, you create that reality. So by default, we have all been creating the reality that we do not desire. That we do not desire because we have been paying attention to all of these false realities. And what Vaughn is going to come to the knowingness of as he continues to grow and learn even more and more, he's going to know that he is the only one dreaming his reality. I'm the only one dreaming this reality. So it's almost like, I know it sounds a little crazy, but it's almost like only the chosen people here are dreaming this reality, whatever this reality is. And everybody else is just a part of it. So I hope y'all understood what I'm saying. Let me go ahead and keep this going now.
God that Vaughn posted, that We Are God video that Von posted, the whole you are me and I am you, we are the same being. It's just one consciousness.
Ooh, didn't I just say that? And where he's let me tell y'all this as well. It's like this. We are all the same being, but we are different expressions of whatever that being is. And I'm gonna call that being God. So it's that one God having an experience as different personalities. So it's like he just said, I am you, you are me. So it's like the God source is having an experience as I'm Shara the goddess, he's Von 2K, you are who you is, but it's just the different personalities. But it's that one source dreaming itself to be these characters. Y'all get what I'm saying? That's the only thing that is happening. We are dreaming this reality. The gods and the goddesses are dreaming this reality. We are the universe expressing itself as different individuals. But we have to wake up and know this and own this and believe this. Let me go ahead and keep this thing going.
One consciousness, different egos.
Anything you do
He said one consciousness, different egos. What I just tell y'all, yes, he's right about that as well. One consciousness, one source, different expressions. So we have been living our egotistical self, but we're waking up to be our higher self. So we're leaving the ego and we're becoming the higher self, whatever that is. But it still is going to be an expression of that one source. Y'all get what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and keep this thing going.
Adios comes back to you because it's just you. It's just you. It's only us. It's only us. You literally listening to yourself right now.
Didn't I just tell y'all that?
That was deep for a lot of people. I don't think
they
I don't
overstood it.
think some people's egos understand what he just said.
Well, he's right about that. Yeah. If you didn't get that, then I'm going to take it back to that grade level thing. We are all at different levels of awareness, different grade levels. But if you are a chosen one, if you are a god or a goddess, whatever level you are at, this is why I made another video about how a lot of people aren't waking up yet. But who knows? A lot of people didn't even come to this particular lifetime to wake up. They are just an expression, a reflection of your own subconscious mind. Y'all, this stuff is deep. This thing is deep, but it's not that deep. Like I said, if you on the level, you on the frequency, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. So let me go ahead though.
Think about that. Let that resonate with you for a second. Don't do to others as you wouldn't want to do to yourself.
Facts. What he's saying, when you do something bad to somebody else, it's gonna come back to you because the universe only recognizes you. Whatever you participate in, you create that. So you do wrong, if you do wrong, negative, whatever that means, that same energy has to come back to you because you are the creator. Whatever you create, you manifest. I'm talking about not only physically, you entertain negative thoughts, negative emotions. The universe believes since you are God, that is what you want. So you will continue to create whatever that is. So never do wrong because you will receive wrong. This is why it's important to do right so you can receive good things. It's just like, it's the universal laws.
Are me and I am you. You are listening to yourself. I'm explaining myself.
Yeah.
To myself.
What he's saying, he's explaining himself to another part of himself. Goes back to what I just said. We are that one source, that one universal mind expressing itself as different personalities. So that's what this gentleman is talking about.
I'm trying to wake up myself. Let's break the matrix. Back to the afterworld life, right? When we first came into this physical reality, we were scared of death. we thought death was a bad thing. Then we realized, oh, death isn't actually real. We live forever. Now we have to realize as a collective that it's actually bad that we live forever, because now we have to experience things and keep feeling forever. Imagine if your homie said, yo, my nigga, hey, come to this lit party with me. It's gonna be the littest party of your life. But the only catch to it is you can't ever leave the party. That's what this is.
You eventually gonna get bored of that party.
Full of vibrations.
Is basically what he's saying.
That's literally all this is. And just new flash, just to give it to y'all, all that religion shit, all that spirituality shit is fake. Yeah.
We already knew.
Hold on, let me
the religion is fake. But let me explain to y'all what he means by spiritual. Everything in your reality is not real. It's basically what he's trying to get across to you.
Yeah.
It's real if you identify with the matrix, for example. Because he said some other stuff that people just didn't. So I'm trying to think, should I wait till he say it or just say it now? I'll just wait.
Yeah. Vaughn was in the fantasy. We was all in the fantasy.
Well, let me touch on that. Basically what he's saying is that you created spirituality for the matrix, pretty much. Mm-hmm. But in the grand scheme of things, it's all fake. You created that for your reality, if that makes sense to it. Like, I don't know if it's catching on to what I don't know if what I'm saying is catching on, but you created spirituality for your reality. You created religion for you. Everything in your matrix was created by you.
Exactly.
You created it, but in the grand scheme of things, it's fake in a sense that not fake like it's not real. It's real to the matrix, but in the grand scheme of things, to the consciousness, it's not real. Like that.
Okay, because that was just a lot, y'all. Let me scroll back. Let me scroll back a little bit. You know what? I'm gonna speak on it.
In a sense
what Vaughn, like the guy said, he's religion, spirituality, all of these are just titles. All of these are just words. But what I want to say is that the ego, the higher self, is all parts of you. When he just spoke about how we incarnated here, see, Vaughn is still under the impression that this matrix is a bad thing. But what he has to come to the knowing is that he did create this. We did create this. But we knew on a deep level that this would be how it be. We knew of this. Before we came here, we knew all of the things that could happen. Because we were coming to a lower dimensional realm, the third dimensional realm. But it goes back to that statement I made, how we set an alarm clock inside of us to wake ourselves up, to know that we are in a matrix and learn how to maneuver through this matrix and work out the kinks. So this is the process that we're going through now. We're working out all of the little kinks, all of the low dimensional things, and we're rising above. See, you can't never get rid of evil. You can't get rid of this low frequency force. What you can do is rise above, raise your energy, learn how to play the game. So Vaughn has to come to that knowingness. So it's not that you keep, we're trapped here or we are, prisoners. I mean, to some degree, we thought that, we were trapped and this just a messed up world. But like I said, you are God. The chosen people are God. So what does God do? God has to create. So now he has to get to that level of knowing that, yes, we are in a Saturn matrix, but since you are God and you know this, you have to become that. Once you know you are God, you have to become that. You have to create the reality. This is why it's so important to raise your energy and learn how to do what you're supposed to do and create the reality that you desire, and stop buying into false realities, false perceptions, because that is how you get trapped and that is how you get tricked. So it's like you have to beat the game. You have to beat the third dimensional game and become non-attached to the people, the places, the things, because they are a part of the game. So don't let Vaughn confuse y'all. Don't let his words confuse you. So this is something that you decided. It's like a game. You have to beat the game. The way that you beat the game, raise your energy, know that you are God, and create the reality. Be on the frequency so you can manifest the reality that you desire. That's all he's trying to say. Like I said, don't let his words confuse you and think that it's a horrible matrix, because it's not. The matrix, like I said, is something like a game, y'all, and it got hijacked. But we knew this, though. That's what y'all need to understand for my real ones out there. You knew all of the things that possibly could happen because we lower our frequency to become physical. The third dimensional flesh is solid. Meaning I had to lower my energy to become to become physical. I'm telling y'all, a lot of y'all, I hope y'all know what I'm saying. I hope this isn't over a lot of y'all heads. But hey, it is what it is. It's time you know the truth. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this thing going.
Fake, like, it's not real. It's real to the matrix. But in the grand scheme of things, to the consciousness, it's not real. If that, like say you playing Sims, right? And say they have an option to like spawn in a dog in the Matrix. Or not in the Matrix, but say they have an option to spawn in a dog in the Sims game. Once you turn off that Sims game, that dog is not real. It's real in the Sims game because that's the game you playing.
Exactly.
But once you turn that game off,
it doesn't exist.
You consciously detach from that matrix.
It doesn't exist.
You understand that everything is fake.
Exactly. Didn't I just tell y'all that? I told y'all that, I think at the beginning of the video. It's we're in a holographic reality. A lot of stuff is not what you think it is. Everything that you see around you, from the trees, the grass, the this, the that, is like a code. Think about a computer right now, y'all. Think about how when you program a computer, when you program a video game. So we're in something like the Saturn Matrix video game. A lot of stuff here is, like he said, can be spawned in your reality. It can be projected in your reality. For whatever reason, whatever time, whatever moment, things can be This is why it's important for you not to buy into all of these realities, because it's fake in the grand scheme of things. It exists, but it don't exist. Like he just said, it's like you're playing a video game. When for us gods and goddesses, we are dreaming this. A lot of characters here aren't dreaming. They just are a part of the actual game. So that's what Vaughn is trying to say. I don't know if he realizes what he's trying to say, or if he got to the level to actually know what he's saying. But it's real, but it's fake.